What happens when a single decision changes everything? Under a blood-red sun, Slade crouches behind debris in the shadows of a crumbling city. His heart pounds as he spots a mysterious figure stalking him through the darkness. One thought races through his mind as he breaks into a desperate sprint. If he's lucky, maybe he can lose his pursuer. Blood trickles down Slade's cheek as he stumbles backward in shock. From the shadows emerges a hooded figure with a menacing smile, brandishing a knife with practiced ease. The stranger's words chill him to the bone. He knows exactly who Slade is. Escape from Madhouse? The blade gleams as his pursuer offers him a choice between the easy way or the hard way. Slade's face hardens with reluctance. He never wanted it to come to this. But with his back against the wall and nowhere to run, desperation takes hold. The cloaked figure readies his weapon, determination blazing in his eyes. Then suddenly, chaos erupts. What the hell? A blade slices through the air, and crimson splatters paint the alley walls. The cloaked figure collapses, blood streaming from his mouth as he faces a helmeted warrior. Slade's eyes widen in terror as he raises his gun with shaking hands. Don't come any closer. His voice cracks with fear as the mysterious helmeted figure stands motionless, a bloodied weapon gleaming at their side. The hunter has become the hunted. Click, click. Slade's finger trembles on the trigger, but something's wrong. What? The realization hits him like a sledgehammer, and then a brutal thud echoes through the alley. Now he's the one on the ground, vulnerable and confused. The sword-wielding figure looms over him as Slade spits out his defiance. You killed him for my bounty, right? So what are you waiting for? The katana clatters to the ground with a metallic ring that shatters the silence. Slade looks up in pure shock, blood still fresh on his cheek, as his would-be killer suddenly covers his head. But their moment of confusion is shattered by an ominous announcement crackling through the air. A hazard has been spotted 10 miles west of Lockburn. The city's warning system has activated. The storm is coming. Expected to hit Lockbrain within hours. The Hazeshift will bring death to anyone caught outside. Slade sits alone in his dimly lit room, exhaustion weighing on his shoulders as the curfew announcement echoes through the city. Keep all windows sealed. But even as sleep takes him, dark shadows seem to curl around his form. Then a voice cuts through his dreams. Slade. The blonde girl bursts through the door with urgent news. A Hazeshift has been reported. Slade needs to find his brother before the deadly mist rolls in. Still groggy from sleep, Slade acknowledges the task ahead of him. Yeah, on it. As she leaves, he reaches for a chocolate bar, steeling himself for what lies ahead. But deep down, he wonders if she's overreacting to the danger.
Slade grips his backpack straps as the weight of knowledge settles on his shoulders. He knows exactly where Riel and Benji are, sneaking outside the city boundaries in the forbidden Edgeline slums. Under the ominous red sky, warning signs flutter against the fence like harbingers of doom. I don't feel good about this, but sometimes duty demands we walk into the darkness.
Let's go. Slade charges forward with determination, only to get caught on the stupid fence. He grimaces and pulls against the metal barrier, frustration building with each failed attempt. Whatever. At least Red usually hangs out at the same spot. He dusts himself off and sets his jaw with resolve. I'll just go get him, and this will be over with. In the shadow of towering skyscrapers, Benji searches frantically through empty trash cans. Where's our stuff? The container that should hold their supplies is completely empty. Their anxiety spikes when a loud clang echoes through the crimson-tinted alley. Shoo! Benji signals for silence as they peer around the corner, rain cascading down like tears from a bleeding sky. Through the snowy darkness, Slade spots a mysterious figure in a large hooded cloak. Just some edgeline kid, he thinks dismissively. But as he calls out to the stranger, something feels wrong. The figure waves frantically, almost desperately, yet remains silent. When the hood shifts slightly, drops of blood become visible on trembling hands. This is no ordinary encounter. Without warning, the cloaked figure shoves Slade backward into the snow. Confusion explodes across his face as accusations fly through the frigid air. Grab him. Someone shouts that this kid might have stolen their belongings. But the girl in the dark hoodie looks just as bewildered as Slade. What the heck are you doing? In this frozen moment, Misunderstanding breeds chaos. I don't care. Slade's desperation reaches a breaking point as he struggles against the fence. What if the peacekeepers came? His fear is met with an eerily calm response from the masked figure. Do you even think about these things? Then suddenly, THWAK? A shoe connects with Slade's face, sending him reeling. The sound of swift movement fills the air as hidden weapons emerge. Dad's necklace. Benji clutches the precious memento as snow falls around him like a shroud. His companion urges him to flee. There's a Hazeshift coming, and they're running out of time. Just go. But Benji won't abandon what matters most. Come back with us then. His voice echoes through the alley as he chases after the mysterious kid who holds his father's memory. The girl flees up the snow-covered steps, her dark cloak billowing behind her. I can't let them catch me. She glances back with determined eyes as Slade pursues her, calling out desperately. Hey, wait. But she's already gained the high ground, leaving him scrambling up the narrow stairway. In this deadly game of cat and mouse, every second counts. Oh, come on. Slade's frustration boils over as the mysterious figure continues to evade him. She grabs onto a pipe with practiced ease, ready to scale the building's exterior. Slade reaches up desperately, trying to follow, but finds himself struggling on the precarious rooftop. The sound of his exertion echoes as snow continues to fall around their dangerous ascent.
On the rooftop overlooking the sprawling city, both figures pause in their pursuit. Their eyes glow an otherworldly red as the blood-colored sunset paints the horizon. The snow-covered metropolis stretches endlessly below them, a maze of concrete and shadows. In this moment of strange calm, they share something deeper than chase. They share the weight of whatever danger lurks in their crimson gaze.
Oh God, it's too late. Slade clutches his face in despair, the full weight of his situation crashing down. I'm gonna. But before panic can fully consume him, the hooded figure reaches out with an encouraging smile. Jump! Their hand extends like a lifeline in the darkness. Do you want me to come with you? In this moment of terror, an unexpected offer of companionship emerges. Their footsteps echo through the snowy alley, tack, 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 as they sprint together through the gathering dusk. The girl glances back anxiously while her companion struggles to keep pace. It's catching up too fast. The crimson sunset casts ominous shadows as desperation creeps into his voice. We won't make it. The sound of pursuit grows closer with each passing second. Oh, Slade covers his mouth as deadly mist swirls around them in the confined space. The silver-haired figure beside him clutches their burning eyes in agony. I think I inhaled some. The toxic haze has found them, and now they're paying the price. Caliph, Caliph. Slade's cough echoes as he struggles to breathe, his fist clenched in determination even as fear grips his heart. Howl! Rattle! Ominous sounds echo from beyond the window as Slade peers into the toxic world outside. His hands press against the glass as realization dawns. Is this place secure enough to keep the haze out? The question hangs in the air like a death sentence. In the flickering lantern light, his companion sits calmly, but silence is their only answer to the growing dread. Hey, are you listening? Slade calls out desperately to the girl with long dark hair, but she seems lost in her own world. Wait, something's wrong. His urgency builds as the situation becomes clear. Oh God, hurry up. He turns toward the door with growing panic. Mom, something serious happened. Outside the window, the city skyline looms under darkening skies. Ray, there you are. The blonde girl's relief is palpable as she spots him, but her concern deepens when she asks about Slade. Ray explains with growing worry. Slade got hurt chasing a bad guy and is now stuck in Edgeline. The terrible truth settles between them like a weight. He can't hear them from here. Against the backdrop of a blood-red sunset, their helplessness becomes clear.
By flickering lantern light, Slade reflects on what he's learned about the Edgeline slums. I've heard that everyone there has a defect. The dark-haired girl listens thoughtfully as he continues. Then he probably didn't know what was happening earlier. Despite having his necklace stolen, Slade finds compassion for his thief. But he saved me, so he has to be a nice person. Their hands reach toward each other in understanding.
I know you can't understand me. Slade acknowledges the language barrier between them, but his actions speak louder than words. He pulls energy bars from his bag and offers one with a gentle smile. "For saving me, this is the least I can do." The girl holds the offering with curious eyes, surprised by this act of kindness. In this moment, food becomes a bridge between two different worlds.
Through the window, Slade watches the sunset paint the city in shades of gold and crimson. "Looks like I'm going to be here for a while. Mom's going to kill me." The weight of his situation settles in as dawn approaches. In their makeshift shelter, he lies beside the dark-haired girl who stirs awake. Morning? Already. Time has passed, but their connection remains. Golden eyes meet across the urban landscape as a new day begins. The dark-haired girl yawns and stretches, her movements lazy and peaceful. "Well, looks like she's still sleepy," Slade observes with a gentle smirk. As their brief time together draws to a close, he speaks with quiet sincerity. "It was nice meeting you, but it's time to go home now." Duty calls him back to his world. Enough already. The confrontation erupts in the gritty alleyway as tensions reach their breaking point. A gray-haired figure in sleek black clothing steps forward with cold authority. "We know the Phantom Eyes are behind this, so tell us where the kids are." The threat hangs heavy in the air as he mentions the last purge. How many Edgeline scum died last time? The divide between city and slums has never been clearer. "You want to die today?" The tactical officer levels his weapon at Slade with deadly precision. Fear floods Slade's features as he realizes his mother must have filed a report about his disappearance. Another purge. The officer identifies himself as Lockbane External Operations. "Are you Slade, the kidnapped kid?" But Slade protests desperately. He wasn't kidnapped at all. The truth falls on deaf ears. RRGHHH. Slade's frustration builds to a crescendo as the silver-haired figure glares at him with intensity. Through the window, dilapidated buildings stretch under an overcast sky like tombstones of a forgotten world. His expression turns serious, eyes wide with the weight of realization. On the couch, a younger boy calls out softly, "Mom." The yearning in his voice speaks to the fractures this conflict has created. "I'm SORR." Slade begins his apology, but the sound of knocking interrupts his desperate plea. "Knock, knock." The door opens to reveal a rugged police officer with gray hair and a serious expression. "Hello, Ms. Mackenzie. We've located your son, Slade." Relief floods the woman's face as she processes the news. "Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, officer." But little does she know, this rescue will complicate everything. Slade. The emotional reunion explodes with raw relief as his brother embraces him. "I thought you were dead." But the joy is short-lived as the officer's serious tone cuts through their happiness. He claims Slade wasn't kidnapped, but describes an attacker, long black hair and markings on his face. "Yeah, that's right," and Slade begins to respond, but something makes him cover his mouth. The truth must be protected. "No. I told you I wasn't kidnapped." Slade's desperation reaches fever pitch, but the tactical officer has his own theory. The kidnapper may have threatened him to stay quiet, a common tactic. "What? No, that's not it." Slade protests, but his words fall on deaf ears. The officer's calm directive cuts through the chaos. "Leave the room while I talk to the LEO officer. Authority has spoken." "Why are you lying to them?" The question burns between the brothers as Slade desperately signals for silence. "Shoo." His fear is palpable as he leans against the door. "I can't relax knowing that kidnapper is still out there." But Slade knows the truth. The person they're hunting isn't a kidnapper at all. The weight of protecting an innocent life rests heavily on his young shoulders. The girl's determination blazes in her dark eyes as she speaks with conviction. "We'll catch him no matter what." But beneath her words lies a darker truth. The compound, that's where all the criminals and defectives are sent. The unspoken ending hangs in the air like a death sentence. In this world of walls and divisions, some fates are worse than others. "I'm glad you're safe." Slade's relief is genuine as he gazes out the window with his brother. The moment of peace shatters when Ray discovers the return necklace. "Oh hey, you got your necklace back." But Slade's distress returns. "Stop it." The argument that follows cuts deep. "If you guys weren't out there messing around, then none of this would have happened." Blame becomes a weapon sharper than any blade. "No, it's not about me." Slade's anguish fills the book-lined room as he grapples with impossible guilt. "I reported it.
you're safe. But the cost weighs heavily on his conscience. That kid, he saved me from the Hazeshift, and now he's going to be imprisoned for it. His hands clench in helplessness as he realizes the cruel irony. I can't. He's deaf. How can he save someone who can't even hear the danger coming? In the quiet sanctuary of the library, Slade struggles with his conscience. Red didn't deserve that. His frustration builds as he stands before the reception desk. There was something I could do. The girl behind the counter waits patiently as he hands over his service card. Next. But inside, Slade knows that books might hold the key to bridging the gap between two worlds. On the shelf, books about sign language catch the light like beacons of hope. Slade peers through the stacks with newfound purpose burning in his eyes. Oh, thanks, he says as he accepts his book order, but one more request forms on his lips. Actually, could you add one more book? In the distance, a shadowy figure watches from beneath a dark cloak. The city's dangers never rest. I'm back. Slade's return brings immediate tension as his brother demands his keycard. Good. Now give me your keycard. The confusion is written all across Slade's face. What? Why? The answer cuts straight to the heart of their conflict. Until I know you're safe. Ray's protection comes at the cost of Slade's freedom. Sometimes love looks like a cage. Until I know you're safe. The words hang between them like an unbreakable chain. Fine. Slade's resignation carries the weight of understanding as he hands over the card. Good. I'll be back home later. The soft clack of the closing door marks his departure into an uncertain world. But Slade has work to do, and nothing will stop him from returning to help the one who saved his life. In the library's quiet embrace, Slade prepares for his clandestine mission. A red book tumbles from his bag with a telling thud. I should have more time than enough. His determination hardens as he adjusts his backpack. I just need to be more careful this time around. And no getting caught. No getting hurt. The door whispers KSHH behind him as he slips into the night. High above the grim urban landscape, Slade grips a pipe with white knuckles. His expression balances between determination and anxiety as he surveys the dangerous path ahead. The cloudy sky looms overhead like a shroud, casting shadows across the sprawling cityscape below. From this precarious perch, he can see the maze of streets that separate him from his destination. Please, I don't know where... A pink-haired boy pleads desperately as a masked figure in tactical gear grips him mercilessly. The threat that follows chills the blood. Then let everyone know that they're next unless someone finds him. A wanted poster slaps against the alley wall with a sound like judgment itself. The hunt has intensified, and innocent lives hang in the balance. Hide, Slade whispers urgently as he navigates the shadowy alley with his face mask pulled tight. I have to find him quickly. Time is running out, and the stakes have never been higher. I don't want to scare him again, but I don't think knocking will work. His flashlight becomes a beacon of hope in his trembling grip as he formulates a new approach. Click, click, click. In the dim storage room, a boy with glasses nervously operates a flashlight while the girl with long black hair peers cautiously from her hiding spot. The metallic clank echoes ominously as Slade reveals the harsh truth. You need to hide, see? He holds up the wanted poster with grim determination. That's you want to buy Leo. The authorities are closing in. And Leo is really bad. Slade points passionately at his crude drawing, trying to communicate the danger. You need to stay away from them. The girl with dark hair looks puzzled and concerned as he realizes his approach is all wrong. We should just start from scratch. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sometimes the heart speaks faster than wisdom can follow. The dark-haired girl sketches frantically, her eyes wide with concern as her pencil slides across the page. Then Slade appears with a piece of chocolate and a hopeful smile, demonstrating what he's learned from the sign language book. Chocolate. Her expression transforms from worry to surprise, then softens into something approaching relief. Maybe they can understand each other after all. Chocolate. The word becomes their first bridge across the silence that divides them. Yes, you're getting it. Slade's excitement is infectious as he holds both the chocolate bar and his sign language book. In the warm glow of the lantern, two worlds begin to merge. She understands, but outside these walls, the hunt continues. Will chocolate and hand signs be enough to save them both when the authorities come calling? In the warm glow of their sanctuary, Slade's excitement bubbles over as he holds up his precious sign language book. Light, bed. Simple words become bridges between worlds. Calico watches with growing curiosity, her eyes bright with possibility. Then something catches her attention. Small white flowers scattered across the floor like fallen stars. She reaches for them, a playful smile dancing across her lips. For the first time in forever, hope feels tangible. Slade flips through the ASL guidebook with growing confidence, his determination infectious. Friend, he signs with careful hands, his eyes locked on Calico's face. Her response is immediate. Friend, she echoes back, her smile radiant in the dim light. I can do this, Slade declares, and for once, the impossible seems within reach. Two souls separated by silence, finally discovering their shared language of understanding. I can keep him safe, Slade whispers into the shadows, his voice carrying the weight of unbreakable promise. The city skyline looms beyond their hidden world, but tonight it feels distant. Everything will be okay, he assures himself, clinging to hope like a lifeline. But the warning signs flash ominously. Content warnings for knife threats, for self-harm. 1 week later, the text announces, how quickly can paradise turn to nightmare? Slade approaches his mother with barely contained anxiety, his hands fidgeting with nervous energy. Have you heard anything from Elio? The question hangs heavy in the air. His mother's response brings unexpected relief. They're calling off the search. Not enough resources, she explains, her voice gentle but tired. For the first time in days, Slade allows himself to breathe. Maybe, just maybe, they're finally safe. Well, I suppose it should be okay, Slade's mother concedes, though worry lines her face. Just be careful, all right? She extends his identification card, his ticket back to the outside world. Slade takes it with reverence, his heart hammering with possibility. Now he has to get his brother to school and head to work, but his mind is already racing ahead. Yes, the single word explodes from him, pure joy breaking through weeks of tension. Snow crunches beneath Slade's feet as he stands in the familiar alley, clutching the sequel to his precious sign language book. Finally, the next installment that will unlock even more ways to communicate with Calico. His excitement is palpable as he imagines sharing the news. The search has been called off. It should be so much easier to visit now. Freedom tastes sweeter than he ever imagined. But the familiar hideout stands empty. Slade checks the old television, their usual meeting spot. Nothing. His cheerful anticipation curdles into worry. He's not where he usually hangs out either, Slade mutters, unease creeping up his spine. Where the heck is he? Then he sees it. Dark, swirling mist emanating from a garbage can, and a sinister red dot glowing within. The haze has found him. Slade runs through the crimson mist, his scarf whipping behind him as panic drives his legs. He clutches his necklace, that precious gift from his father, like a talisman against the growing darkness. The alleyway feels different now, charged with menace. Snow crunches ominously underfoot. Then he spots a figure in the shadows. That guy? Recognition hits him like a physical blow. This isn't random. This is targeted.
Crunch. Glass shatters beneath heavy boots as figures emerge from the shadows. Damn stupid kid, one snarls, his voice dripping with contempt. We saw you with that locked-behind kid last week. The accusation hits like ice water. Are you trying to sick Elio on us? Their intentions become crystal clear as a knife glints in the dim light. We'll kill you. Hey! Slade's voice cracks with terror and desperate defiance.
Leave him alone, Slade pleads, his voice breaking as he spots Calico crumpled and bloodied in the snow. His world tilts on its axis. The silver-haired leader smirks with predatory satisfaction. Oh, look who it is, the lockbreak brat himself. Perfect. I said stop. Slade screams, but metal slides from clothing with a deadly shing. I'll be ending this whole mess right now. The blade promises finality. Consider this an example. The silver-haired attacker hisses, his makeup-streaked face twisted with malice, of what happens when you mess with us. Fear crawls up Slade's spine as the implications sink in. You might want to rethink that. I did all of this because I was kidnapped. The logic is twisted, cruel. So then, what do you think they'd do if I was stabbed? The question hangs like a guillotine blade. Shut up already. The attacker's sanity fractures completely, knife dripping red in his white-knuckled grip. You can't be serious. Slade's voice breaks with desperation. If you hurt him, whatever happens next is your fault. The warning echoes off alley walls. Last warning. The blade trembles with barely restrained violence. Hey, you're crazier than me. Even among monsters, some lines shouldn't be crossed. The silver-haired figure stands silhouetted against the crimson snow, his work complete. Calico lies broken on the ground, her dark clothes stark against the white. Blood pools beneath the discarded knife. Slade kneels beside her, his hands shaking as he reaches out. Hurt, she whispers through tears and pain, the simple sign language word carrying the weight of shattered innocence. Their sanctuary has become a crime scene.
In the lantern's warm glow, Slade cradles Calico against the cold brick wall. His voice trembles with fierce determination as he makes a promise that will define everything that follows. Whatever it takes, I'll never let anyone hurt you again. The words are a vow written in blood and shadow. Around them, the alley bears witness to broken glass and shattered safety. But in this moment, love becomes armor.
2 years later, the title card slices through time like a blade. In a gray urban maze, Slade has grown taller, but no less haunted. His oversized hoodie can't hide the weight he carries. Rah! He spins around, startled, as familiar chaos erupts behind him. A dark-haired figure lunges with playful aggression, tugging at his hair. Some things never change, but everything else has. The tension breaks like a snapped wire. Calico, alive, scarred, but unbroken, clings to Slade with desperate affection. His laughter rings out across the empty street, pure and uninhibited. Ah! Slade gasps, then joins in the laughter. Thud! They tumble together, a tangle of limbs and joy. For a moment, they're just two friends again. The city watches from a safe distance, unaware of their secret world. But survival demands sacrifice. In a shadowed alley, Calico outlines their desperate plan. I'll distract him, you steal. It's a dance they perfected over 2 years of scraping by. Gotcha, Slade nods, understanding flowing between them without words. A hooded vendor spots them approaching. What do you want, kid? No handouts. The outside world shows no mercy to the discarded. Get lost. The vendor's voice cracks like a whip. Slade crouches behind wooden crates, fear making him small. What do you think you're doing? The man's suspicion cuts deep. You trying to steal from me? Guilt and necessity war in Slade's chest. Thud. Violence erupts as another figure intervenes. All right, slim kid, I'll turn you over to him. Kirike. The sickening sound of impact echoes through the alley. Ack. Slade's voice cracks with panic as chaos explodes around them. Run. Calico's command cuts through the madness. A quick nod passes between them, communication perfected by desperation. Slade's hand darts out, swiping their prize with practiced precision. The gray city blurs around them as they flee into its concrete maze. Another day survived, another moral line crossed. In their hidden refuge, Calico reveals the stolen treasure. Filters, enough to keep someone alive for a month. Whoa, filters. A lot of them. His excitement is infectious, but tinged with sobering reality. With these, he could afford food for a month. Or maybe a filtration mask for the next Hazeshift. Make sure you hide them. Even small victories carry the weight of life and death. I should head home now, but I'll be back later. Slade's words carry the familiar ache of parting. In the dim alley, they draw together like magnets, unable to resist the pull of connection. His arms encircle Calico, and the harsh world fades away. Every time we hug, I never want to let go. The confession hangs between them, raw and honest. How do you measure time when every goodbye might be forever? Alone again, Slade grips his hood against more than just the cold. I hate leaving him. The words tear from his chest like a physical wound. The city towers above him, indifferent to his pain. Home beckons with false comfort as he trudges through familiar doors. I'm home from school. Welcome home. How were your classes? Normal questions in an abnormal life. The mask of ordinary teenager slides back into place. Oh, yeah, good. We learned about economics? The lie tastes bitter on Slade's tongue. His mother holds a piece of mail, worry creasing her features. I just got the notice in the mail today. This week is yours and Ruben's checkup. Routine words that make Slade's blood run cold. You aren't feeling sick, are you? Mom, I'm fine. It'll be the same as last year. You know how important these are, Slade. If only she knew how important they really were. What? Fine. Slade's reluctant acceptance echoes through the room. Documents scatter across the wooden table, official forms that will decide his fate. A joke about teenagers provides momentary levity before reality crashes back. The city sprawls beyond their window, massive and uncaring. Lockhart Medical stands like a monolith against the gray sky. Some buildings hold answers. Others hold judgments that can't be appealed. The medical facility hums with sterile efficiency. Right, all done, the doctor announces with professional detachment. Everything looks good, but we'll be in contact if we find anything serious. Slade forces a smile, relief flooding his features. That's great news. Thank you. His companion Ruben shares his cautious optimism. All right, boys, we can head home now. But behind closed doors, a photo labeled Slade Mackenzie tells a different story. Clack. The sound of a closing door. The sound of a trap.
The urban landscape sprawls beneath power lines like a concrete web. What do you boys want for dinner? It can be anything. Slade's mother tries to inject normalcy into their evening routine. Anything. His surprise is genuine. Such luxury feels foreign now. Ruben declines politely, exhaustion weighing down his young shoulders. That checkup tired me out, so I'll eat tomorrow. Sometimes the smallest kindnesses feel monumental when you're living on borrowed time.
I guess he did have a big day. His mother's understanding warms the dim apartment. Have a big breakfast tomorrow, okay? Good night. The domestic ritual plays out with practiced ease. But as Slade approaches his window, tenderness transforms into determination. The cityscape awaits beyond the glass, and somewhere in its depths, Calico waits for him. Some promises are stronger than fear. In the cluttered alley, routine magic unfolds. Catch! Whoop! The object sails through the air with practiced precision. Toss! They move like dancers who've rehearsed this choreography 1,000 times. There's nothing left here. Let's go. Calico's pragmatic assessment cuts through the moment. Sorry I was late today. Slade apologizes, but lateness seems trivial when every meeting is a small miracle. What happened? Calico's confusion is written across his features as he types on his phone. Oh, nothing. Just a checkup. Slade's explanation seems simple enough. It's a requirement in Lockbane. But then Calico's face brightens with impossible hope. You could come live with me. The words hang in the air like a prayer. I would like that someday. Someday feels both infinitely far away and dangerously close. Above the towering city, something miraculous breaks through the perpetual smog. This is... Slade's voice trails off in wonder. The stars. Calico's excitement is infectious as he points skyward. I've only ever heard about them. Slade whispers are replacing words. The sky is never clear enough. But tonight, for just this moment, the universe reveals itself. In a world of walls and barriers, the cosmos offers infinite possibility. Under the star-pierced sky, they sit in perfect silence, hands intertwined like a promise. Words become unnecessary when souls speak directly to each other. The soft illumination bathes them in ethereal light, transforming their rundown alley into a cathedral. What are you thinking? The question whispers between them, but some thoughts are too precious for words. Sometimes love is just two people choosing to be present. When Dad gave me this necklace, Slade's fingers trace the precious metal, memory making his voice soft. The sparkles in the darkness seem to dance with his words. He said, one day I should give it to someone special. The confession hangs between them, weighted with meaning. Ha and Calico's gentle laugh acknowledges the gift's significance. In a world that has taken so much, giving becomes the ultimate act of faith. I think this is what he meant. The words emerge like a benediction as Slade pulls Calico close. In their embrace, 2 years of pain and fear dissolve into something pure and unbreakable. Happy shins. The exclamation rings out with innocent joy. Their fire escape refuge has become a temple to hope. Against all odds, love has taken root in the wasteland. Hungry? Slade offers bread with the casual generosity of someone who understands scarcity. Yeah, thanks. Calico's gratitude carries the weight of survival. In the ambient light, they share more than food. They share the luxury of companionship. Slade's necklace catches the glow as he smiles. A lantern illuminates a small box, hinting at treasures yet to be revealed. Simple moments become precious when you never know which might be your last. Click. The camera captures a moment of pure happiness. Two boys grinning at the future, unaware of what's coming. The Polaroid develops like a prayer, preserving their joy in chemical permanence. They examine their reflection in the photograph, seeing hope where others might see desperation. But darkness gathers at the edges of their world. The city sprawls below them, beautiful and terrible. Hazeshift. The words appear like an omen. Night, MOM. Good night. Sleep well. The familiar ritual plays out one final time. But something interrupts the peace. A sound at the door that makes hearts stop. A visitor? This late? Fear creeps into the safe spaces as reality comes knocking. In the window's reflection, innocence prepares to meet its end. The doorbell rings like a death knell. Good evening. Important notice from the city. The masked figure stands like an angel of judgment, official envelope in hand. Thank you, officer. Slade's voice cracks as he accepts his fate. The city of Lockbane Seal stares back at him with bureaucratic indifference. His hands tremble as he reads words that will shatter everything. The city? Sometimes the most devastating blows come wrapped in official letterhead.
Defective notice. The words burn like brands across the page. Reuben Deltz, nominal. Slade McKenzie, defective. The city will arrive within to collect the defective individual. We expect your cooperation. The cityscape at dusk becomes a funeral shroud. In their dim refuge, Slade and Calico lie together one last time, their expressions heavy with unspoken knowledge. The bed that held their dreams now becomes a waiting room for nightmare. I should get home before they notice I'm gone. Slade's practicality wars with his desire to stay forever in this moment. He nudges Calico gently awake, then stops himself. I'll let him sleep. We were up late. Even in crisis, love means protecting someone else's peace. A note on the crate promises return, but promises feel fragile when the government comes calling.
I'll make sure to come back early today, Slade vows to the morning shadows. But the alley whispers warnings he can't quite hear. Something seems strange, and 6 is missing. The words hang in the air like prophecy. Blurred shapes move in his peripheral vision, harbingers of change that his heart recognizes even as his mind denies. The countdown has begun, and time is running out for promises that were never meant to be kept.